In the last lesson, we finished the installation of Android Studio. So now it's time for us to run a sample app. You can see there are already a few options here, but we also want to run it on an emulator. There are a bunch of them to choose from. Unfortunately, the emulator you'd like to use may be heavy depending on your PC. So, in case it crashes a lot, I would recommend you to use a physical device, just like your mobile phone. I'm gonna start with creating the emulator now. First things first, click on the Device Manager button here, and then click on Create Virtual Device. Obviously, there are a lot of devices you can choose from that have their specific resolutions and density. You can choose the ones with lower resolution, which consumes less resources of your PC. But for now, we are gonna choose the Pixel 3a XL. So let's move forward. In this section, you have to select the system image. And as you can see, there are a lot of versions, but the problem over here is that some of their ABIs are x86. After choosing an ABI like this, we will not be able to run our app in a mode called release mode. I would like to underline the importance of testing your app in release mode, as some codes may work only in debug mode. They may not work in release mode. Therefore, we need to select the operating system with ABI being x86-64. So let's hit download, which is written beside SV2. This may take a while, so meanwhile, grab a cup of coffee or do some exercises. And it's done. So click on Finish. Select the image once again and go ahead and click on Next. Here in the Emulated Performance, choose Hardware for graphics so that it can provide you an extra boost. Click on Finish. And here we have the virtual device created. So hit the power button to launch it. It may take a while to start up at first. Don't worry. I'm gonna drag the device manager over here to access all the tabs easily. If you don't want the emulator to be attached to the Android Studio window, you can go ahead to the Settings button and click on Settings. Search for Emulator and then uncheck the Launch in a Tool window option. Click on Apply and then on OK. I'm gonna close the emulator and open the Device Manager tab and start it again. You can now observe that the emulator is running outside the window. I'd like to mention that if you're facing any problems, make sure the virtualization is enabled in the BIOS of your computer. In some computers, there are no options for virtualization in their BIOS, so don't worry. It's enabled by default. You also need to find out if Hyper-V is enabled or not. To check that, search for Turn Windows Features on or off in the taskbar and open it. Make sure you have Hyper-V checked and then click on OK. Now, if you want to run your app on your mobile phone, that is a physical device, head over to Settings in your mobile phone, then go to About Phone. Now, click on the version number a few times before you enable the developer. The next thing you need to do is look for the developer's options and open it. Look for the USB debugging option and enable it. Check the button and wait until you can click on OK. I also want to add that the location of these settings is gonna be different depending on the phone. So make sure you search it well or Google it. Let's hit OK. And now you can run your app on your mobile. You can run both release mode and debug mode on your mobile phone. It's been a long installation process. Now give yourself some credit and congratulate yourself. See you in the next module.